How's it going, everyone? So I sold my 4Runner and ended up picking up a 3rd Gen Colorado. I bought a Lone Peak camper. It's supposed to be finished at the end of August, so I'll go up there in September to pick it up. There's some things I wanted to do to prep for that camper. Main one being there's a light bar on the back for the 3rd brake light, and I've seen online people are saying that they get error codes if they tap into the rear tail light. So I'm going to run wires from the fuse box to the back, and hopefully this negates that problem. I found a write-up on Colorado fans by a guy named Yetitirician. I'll post his link down below. Also wanted to install some bed stiffeners just to get rid of any flex from the extra weight. I'll probably do all that stuff today, and then in another video I will do add a leaf, and then I'll also prep the bed rails, the plastic, just for water and dust intrusion. Alright, so I got some parts, hopefully everything I need to do this. This is a PVC jacketed 2-wire 16 gauge. I'm just going to run this from the engine bay to the back. I have a fuse tap that'll go into the fuse block. I got automotive heat shrink, some fabric heat shrink, and the green grade heat shrink. It's got the glue on the inside. Alright, so the first thing you want to do before starting this is remove the ground cable from your battery. This guy right here just takes a 10mm socket. Next we'll get the cover off the fuse box, and this one is double layered is what I saw online, so there's going to be a bolt in the center that we'll have to remove, and then we'll take off the top tier. Basically there's a hole at the bottom of this that I want to run the wire up through, so I don't have to have it coming out the sides here up the top. Alright, the fuse we're looking for is F51 CHMSL. It's the 3rd brake light at the back end of the cab. So that one is F51. Should be this 15 amp right here. Alright, so this is that bolt I was talking about. Should be able to take that out and then take this stack off, and then we'll have access to underneath where we can feed the wire up through. Alright, so this center bolt takes a 12mm. Cool, so it looks like it's a captive nut, so it pulls the whole thing apart for you. Alright, so there's quite a few connectors down there. Let's see if I can see where that wire passes through. Okay, it's going to be right here in this corner. Let's see if I can show you that. Right in the corner there's a little hole. Pretty sure that's where I'm going to take it. It's in every corner. You know what, so I can fully remove this, I'm going to take this, I think this is just a grounding lug, off. This is also 12mm. Put this nut back on so I don't lose it. Alright. So now I can just start running the wires. Guess I should find a good grounding location. Alright, it actually looks like factory ground is right here on the body, so I'll just tap into that. Alright, so this wire comes with PVC coating. around the whole thing, but I think I'm just going to put this auto heat shrink around it. And then I'll run the wire and I can just cut everything to length. There's not much excess here, so I'll just run the whole thing. Alright, hopefully this goes smooth. Just gotta get this all through here. Alright, it took a little while, but I got all the wire through this. It's like a fabric automotive heat shrink protective. I just did the whole wire. I'll just cut it to size later, but yeah, there's no easy way to do this. Just do it. I'm gonna heat shrink it now so it stays put. Alright, well, I got the wire all heat shrunk. It came out clean, looks nice. It's going to look good inside the engine bay. They give it more protection too. Alright, well, I left me enough wire to take care of the front. And now I'm starting to route it back along the firewall. Just got to find where I'm going to drop it down in here. And then there's an opening in the frame that I'll run the rest of the wire through. Should have enough, and then I'm going to pull it back up in here. There's a little hole that goes down. It'll take you over to the wheel well. Alright, so I got this wire coming down from the engine bay. I'm going to zip tie it along these guys. Sorry, it's a little tight down here. Zip tie it along these guys, and then I'm going to enter right through this hole, and then I'll take it all the way to the back and pull it out. I'll show you where that's at. Alright, so there's a point in this frame where it bends up. Thinking about this, probably would have done it the opposite way next time. It's a little hard to push the wires up. So what I'm going to do, I have a solar panel wire. It's a little bit stiffer, and I'm going to put it through this hole back here. This one, that's going to be where I come out of. Hopefully I can get it down there. I'll electrical tape it and pull the wires through. Alright, so I got that wire up to the front, and then I got my wires. I just zip tied them to it, so now I'm going to pull it back, see if I can get it to all come with it. There it goes. Alright, so I'm going to drop this wire down and then catch the other wire, and I'll pull it back up like I did through the frame. Hopefully I'm getting the angle of this, but I just want to strap here. Put it up above this one. Then I'll tie it to, these are the brake line lights. Alright, and I'll pull that extra slack up top. Alright, so now I'm going to cut back some of this sleeving, and then it's actually going to go through in the corner here. There's a hole molded into the plastic, so that's going to be in this corner here. So I'll pull up the wire through this corner, and then it'll make it all clean. use some heat shrink to keep this end nice and clean. This is a marine grade. It's got the glue in it. Now I need to cut back this PVC. Make sure you don't go too far and cut wires. Alright, so this terminal has a couple clips on it. Makes it easier to see what's going on if you remove that. So I could run the wire up in there, probably behind this back clip over here, and then up through that hole. Could just try closing it up now. Alright, so we're going for 51. 51 will be this guy right here. It's a 15 amp. So in these ATA fuses, the bottom is the original. Cool. Alright, and the guy's picture just kind of showed it routing around this. Let's go ahead and get this cut to size. And we'll crimp it and heat shrink it. Okay, I can get the cover back on this. Let me plug this guy back in here. Alright, that's it for the positive. Now I'm going to take this ground, I'm going to bring it back, and I'll ground it to this grounding location here. Now I'm gonna crimp on this terminal I have. I'll heat shrink that. Going forever. Just kidding. We went all the way through. Alright, my other wire crimps. Alright, now I just gotta hook up the ground wire. I think we're good to go. Cool, I'm going to start up the car and hook up a multimeter, make sure everything's getting voltage back there. Alright, so I got the car turned on, get this plugged into negative. Voltage should be reading 0 right now. Alright, so we're at millivolts. Okay, let me go push the brake. And hopefully we get 12 volt. There we go. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but 14.05. Now I'll take off the brake and we'll check it again. Should be back down to 0. And we're good. Alright, well I'm just gonna put some marine grade heat shrink on these and get them wired up, and I'll tuck them up in the back so when I go to install the Lone Peak I just have to put a couple terminals on. Well, hopefully you found that video useful. Like I said, there's not much online about the 3rd gen Colorados, so I found a couple write-ups. I plan on making videos out of them and then post them so that way you guys can have some help. I didn't do the bed stiffeners today. It was hot. Pretty sure you all know we're having a massive heat wave. But I'll do those someday after work. Still got quite a few weeks until I go pick up the camper, so we got time. Alright, I'll see you guys on the next one.